Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our nightly news. Today is 9th of May, 2025, Monday. And let's get started with today's news. At least 17 people have died in violent clashes along the disputed border between India and Pakistan. The two countries blame each other for the violence that comes amid heightened tensions since a deadly attack on an Indian army base last month. As both nations bolstered their troop deployments along the frontier, fears of an escalation are growing. Tensions have been high ever since a group of heavily armed militants attacked an Indian army installation in the Neom district of Jammu and Kashmir on May 2nd, killing 5 soldiers and a civilian. India blames Pakistan for the attack and has vowed to respond. Pakistan denies the allegation and called India's response, quote, a dangerous escalation. On May 3rd, India conducted airstrikes against a suspected militant training site inside Pakistan, which Pakistan says killed 9 civilians. Pakistan has retaliated with artillery fire, and on May 8th, India responded with strikes on a militant site in Pakistan's Thatta district, according to officials on both sides. The May 8th clashes were the deadliest so far, with 17 people being killed. India says 9 Pakistani soldiers and 8 militants were killed, while Pakistan claims 10 Indian soldiers and 7 civilians died. It also accuses India of targeting civilian areas. An Indian army spokesperson denied the accusation and said in a statement that India, quote, acted only against terrorists and their support infrastructure, close quote. Both countries have refused calls for de-escalation by international actors, including the United Nations. China and the United States. The situation remains tensed, with neither side showing any signs of backing down. Well, amid such heightened security at the border areas between India and Pakistan, the Chinese embassy in Nepal has issued a safety warning to its citizens and urged them to avoid non-essential activities near the border areas between Nepal and India. Through its official social media account, the embassy said heightened security measures are being taken by the Indian police and army near the border region, stating that the Chinese citizens entering the border regions will be taken into custody by the Indian police and army. It urged the Chinese nationals to strengthen their awareness of border security and to avoid entering the border areas. Along with China, the Indian and Pakistani embassies in Nepal have also issued similar warnings to their citizens on Tuesday. The Indian embassy stated through a press release that the Chinese embassy in Nepal has not issued any travel advisory asking its citizens to leave India. There is no ban on Chinese tourists visiting India, but the embassy has asked Chinese nationals to refrain from visiting border areas in view of the current situation in India and Pakistan. Similarly, the Pakistan embassy's warning urged Pakistanis to avoid unnecessary travel to Nepal, especially around the borders. All 3 advisories came within a span of 24 hours, indicating the gravity of the situation. The embassies did not specify when they would lift the warnings. However, all 3 cited the escalating border tensions between India and Pakistan as the reason behind the advice. Now, do you think this will affect the tourism industry? Let me know your thoughts. Now moving on. On Monday evening, a 45-year-old Tibetan man identified only as Lundup Dekhan was detained by the police in Bihar after he attempted to enter Nepal via an unauthorized route near According to the district police office, borrow of the man who had entered India from Tibet, China, on April 24th was caught while attempting an illicit return to his home country on May 8th. Currently, Lundup Dekhan is in police custody and efforts are underway to coordinate with Chinese authorities for his deportation. This incident highlights the ongoing issue of illegal border crossings between Nepal and India and the challenges law enforcement agencies faced in managing such activities. Additionally, it sheds light on the complex geopolitical situation in the region and the porous nature of the border, which makes it difficult to control cross-border movements. Moving on to the other news, Prime Minister and CPN-UML Chairman KP Sharma Oli met with Indian Ambassador to Nepal, Naveen Srivastava, at his official residence in Kathmandu on Sunday evening. During the meeting, they discussed the prevailing regional tensions following the recent terrorist incident in Pahalgam, India, where 2 targeted killings were reported, one of which involved the killing of a migrant worker from Nepal. Oli affirmed that the Nepali government is committed to taking necessary precautions to prevent such incidents from recurring. He emphasized the importance of maintaining peace and security at the India-Nepal border, urging the ambassador to convey these sentiments to the Indian government. Srivastava mentioned that certain elements within the Indian territory were harboring individuals associated with criminal activities. Oli acknowledged these concerns and assured that Nepal would not allow its soil to be used for such purposes. In response to inquiries regarding reports of an impending Indian jet strike, Srivastava clarified that there had been no such incident. Despite this, he expressed hope that the upcoming G2P-level talks between the two countries would yield positive results towards resolving the remaining boundary issues. The meeting also touched upon the progress of various ongoing development projects, with the ambassador highlighting the significant contributions made by India to Nepalese infrastructure development. These included the construction of the 900 megawatts Arun 3 hydroelectric project, 132 kV transmission lines, and the Little India project in Geneva. Srivastava also extended warm greetings to the people of Nepal on behalf of the Indian President Draupadi Murmu, who is scheduled to pay a state visit to Nepal from May 13th to 15th. During her visit, President Murmu will inaugurate several development projects financed by the Government of India. These projects include the newly constructed Parliament building in New Delhi, 2 drinking water supply schemes in Lalitpa and Botapa, and a girls' hostel building in Kavrap. Oli reciprocated the invitation, extending an official visit to India at a mutually convenient date. The meeting between Prime Minister Olay and Indian Ambassador Srivastava underscores the close relationship between Nepal and India and their commitment to addressing shared challenges. Meanwhile, lawmakers across the political spectrum have urged the government to be prepared for any spillover effects of the India-Pakistan conflict, particularly regarding trade and national security. They emphasized the need for proactive measures to mitigate potential risks and challenges arising from the situation. Lawmakers from various political parties, including the CPN-UML Nepali Congress and CPN, expressed their views and concerns during a meeting with Prime Minister and Defense Minister Kaga Bahadur Biswas at the Prime Minister's residence in Baluwatar on Tuesday. The discussion focused on the prevailing India-Pakistan conflict and its potential implications for Nepal. Lawmakers stressed the importance of government preparedness to handle any unforeseen circumstances that may arise from the conflict, such as an influx of refugees or disruptions in trade and transportation. They also underscored the significance of safeguarding Nepal's territorial integrity and national security. In response, Prime Minister Biswas acknowledged the concerns raised by the lawmakers, assuring them that the government was closely monitoring the situation and taking necessary precautions. He emphasized that Nepal's foreign policy is guided by principles of non-alignment and peaceful coexistence, and that the government is committed to protecting the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Nepal. The Prime Minister also highlighted the long-standing friendly relations between Nepal and India, as well as Nepal's commitment to providing humanitarian assistance to those affected by the conflict. Chinese ambassador to Nepal Chun Song has warned of possible trouble in the neighborhood due to the ongoing border clashes between India and Pakistan. Speaking at an event organized by the Nepal Chamber of Commerce and Industry on Tuesday, he urged Nepal is to exercise caution in the wake of the heightened tensions and border clashes between India and Pakistan. The Chinese envoy's warning comes just a day after the Chinese embassy issued a notice to its citizens in Nepal, urging them to avoid non-essential activities near the border areas between Nepal and India. While acknowledging that the situation is still under control, Ambassador Chun urged Nepal is to remain vigilant and take necessary precautions to ensure their own safety and security. The Chinese embassy's advisory had cited heightened security measures being taken by the Indian police and army near the border regions as the reason for the warning. The Chinese envoy's remarks highlight the potential impact of the India-Pakistan border clashes on the neighboring countries, including Nepal, and the need for diplomatic efforts to find a peaceful resolution to the conflict. Okay, let's move towards the stock market. The Nepali share index saw a weekly gain despite midweek dips. Okay, that's all for today. If you liked our videos, don't forget to like, comment, and share. You can also subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching. We will see you tomorrow.